Alright, so I'm out here cooking bacon. I've already cooked all this up. This is maple bacon. Cooking more now. I'm going to cook the eggs too. These eggs are actually from the farm where I'm going tomorrow. I am allowed to make videos on that property too. So I'll probably get some video of the animals, of the horses and the cows and the birds and everything while I'm there. Anyway, yeah. I've got lots of work to do out there. I've got about 3 days of work out there. I just completed 3 days of work at another place. Painting and pruning bushes and stuff like that. The bushes in the garden there hadn't been pruned in a couple of years, so they were getting kind of unruly. And the basement window frames and everything, and also the front door frame and a bunch of other stuff needed to be painted. So we got that done. And anyway, the bottom line is we got a lot done anyway, and it was good. It's always a satisfying feeling when I leave a property at the end of the day to see what's been accomplished and to know that I played a part in that, either that I did that or that I was at least part of it. And sometimes the property owner works with me. The place I was just at for the last 3 days, the property owner works with me, mostly. He's an older man and his knees are bad. He spent years jumping out of airplanes because he was in the Royal Engineers Corps with the Army. He was one of the guys that went in and set up the infrastructure. You know, if the Army was operating in a place where there was no infrastructure, that was his job, to see that they had everything they needed to function. And that sometimes meant jumping out of a plane, you know, to get into an area that you couldn't go, where you couldn't go with a car or a truck or whatever, you know. Anyway, there's Rocky. I'm going to share my bacon with him. Do you want some bacon, Rocky? Some nice bacon? Look at his eyes glowing, eh? His eyes light up because there's bacon. Yes, I'll give him some of this here. Look, Rocky, look. There you go, my pet. He's been waiting patiently for some bacon. Anyway, I got my little magnetic light out here that I got at the Home Depot. And I'm just using that to light my way, because as you can see, it's, look at that, eh? See that? That's mosquitoes. That's what I'm standing in the middle of right now, just to give you an idea. Really something, eh? Anyway, I get a great deal of satisfaction from my work. Rocky might want more bacon. We got to give him more bacon. Yes, we do. We can't not share with Rocky. You ready for more bacon? There you go, my pet. That's for you. These are the things from the refrigerator here. They have to go. You know, I got to take the garbage out tomorrow. I better remember to do that. I hope I remember to do it. I sometimes forget. But that's another thing that has to be done. Yeah, anyway, I got to cook all this up here. I got to go tomorrow morning. I got to put the garbage out, and I got the eggs there from the farm. They're right out at the chickens whose asses these eggs come out of are literally in the yard outside the place where the eggs are for sale. Anyway, I got to go to the laundromat and I got to wash up some clothes. So I'll have some clothes to go to that lady's memorial service. A lady by the name of Judy Hayslip. Very nice lady. The wrecking yard that I sometimes make videos of, where you see all the old cars, that's actually her and her husband's business. Her and her husband Dave own that. And I know the family quite well. I'm friends with the children there, with the kids, who are all grown up now, of course, like I am. but I'm friends with them, and I'd had many good conversations with Judy in the office there when I had dealings there, when I was selling scrap metal, or when I was buying parts for cars or whatever. They've always used me right. They've always treated me fairly, and they're good people, and I'm happy to know them. And I'm sorry that Judy has passed away, but she was quite ill, I guess, toward the end of her life. She had COPD and she had cancer, and she was suffering. She spent the last 5 months of her life in the hospital, and wasn't a whole lot of fun for her. And so, you know, probably it is for the best because of that. But she'll still be very much missed. There's a lot of us who knew her and really did think very highly of her, and we're going to miss her. That's all. Anyway, it's important that I go pay my respects on Sunday, and I'm going to do that. And I'll just have to work my work schedule around that is all. Because she's only going to have one service. They're not doing this every week. So I got one shot to go pay my respects, and I'm going to do that. But anyway, I'm going to finish cooking up the bacon here, and I'm going to have bacon and eggs eventually. That's pretty good. Whatever bacon I don't eat tonight, I'll put in a container, and I'll put it in the new refrigerator. At night, what I do is I put one of these pallets that I have up against the refrigerator, and then I take this shopping cart over here, and I put the pallet there. There's Rocky. I take this shopping cart over here that I bought, one of the shopping carts I bought when the PV Mart went out of business in town here, and I bring it across, and I put the pallet up against the refrigerator, and then I park the shopping cart in front of it. So far, it's worked pretty good. I haven't had any critters get in there and mess up my food. Plus, if they did that and opened the door, the darn compressor would just keep running, and it would burn out my power bank and maybe burn out the compressor too. So that's why I try not to have that happen. And of course, I don't want to lose all my food. That would suck. Have something break into this thing and steal all my food on me. Anyway, let me get a bottle of pop out here. Okay, that one's warm. I'm having trouble sorting out the adjustments on this, getting it that it will work properly, that the temperature is regulated right. I am. That's good stuff, I'll tell you. And I'm going to keep cooking the bacon. Yeah, nice blue flame there. Cooking with gas, I am. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, and that looks good. I got to keep my eye on Rocky. He's just over here by the pallet. There he is. There he is. He's standing guard there, making sure that no miscreants come and mess with us here at Camp Crazy. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to shut this down now. I'll turn it back on when it's time to eat. All right. We see y'all later.